Shortland Street star Amy Usherwood and chef Simon Salt. That's such a cool name for a chef.
I changed it.
The below the line challenge. It doesn't look like you're living below the line here. This looks fantastic. But then I have been treated to a meal or two by you before. I know how good you are.
Yeah. Those meals cost a little bit more.
Yeah, they do. That cheesecake from New York, OMG. Jacquie Nairn was meant to be here with us today, but because of the racing, we're on air a little bit later, and she's got that thing called Shortland Street that she works on. Had to go and have the hair and makeup done, which is such a shame. But never mind, you guys started this, which is living on $2.25
per day.
Per day. Started it yesterday. What'd you have yesterday?
Well, we had the congee. This is a porridge, a rice porridge with roasted coconut and palm sugar caramel.
Yeah.
That makes that. And then we had a dahl with roti bread.
Dahl thing, because you had dahl as well, didn't you, Amy?
I did. I must admit my menu was slightly less exotic.
I know, you kind of got a head start on it.
Mine was quite basic. I did porridge for breakfast, and then I did a dahl and brown rice for lunch.
OK, so it's all about... and you're pooling resources. That helps with something like this, doesn't it?
Well, it does. Are you doing it on your own?
No, I'm doing it with Sam Bunkle, who plays Boyd.
OK.
So that does definitely
Well,
helps.
there are people that are doing it on $11.25. It's, for me, nigh on impossible. We're doing it $3. We've got $33.75 to spend for the week.
Right.
Massive.
Have you done your shop already, or have you still got bits and pieces you can buy?
We have, but we've got probably about... Well, we have $8.37 in reserve.
Oh, how exciting.
So we're going to have a pretty crazy last day.
Yeah, you are.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
OK, so we should get into this.
OK.
We're going to start.
So, oil.
OK, so, and what are you making?
This is the dahl, chana dahl. Now, forgive me, anybody out there that makes dahl for a living, this is my chana dahl.
OK.
OK, so...
You come with pretty good credentials, my friend.
Well, yes, but...
Assuming this is going to be good.
It will be.
This is already making me hungry.
So we've got carrots, onions, potatoes, and garlic. So...
The thing with the below-the-line charity, too, thing that you guys are doing is that you do it for different charities and you choose who you want to support.
Yeah, right.
Amy, Oxfam.
I'm doing Oxfam New Zealand.
Yep.
Yeah, I really love what they do. We've got a really great philosophy in terms of not just going into communities and giving handouts, but they're all about training facilities and supporting already local charities and people doing great work in villages and communities to give people the skills they need to sustain a better lifestyle. So, yeah.
Sounds pretty good. Are they the ones that do the 100K walk in this country at the beginning of the year? I think they are. It's craziness, that, yeah.
And I'm doing it, we're doing it with the Fred Hollows Foundation.
And Amelia.
Yes. Doing it with the Fred Hollows Foundation, which is an amazing foundation that works predominantly in the Pacific Islands. And what they're doing is they are restoring the sight of so many people over there that are blind unnecessarily for $25.
Yeah.
One person blind, $25 donation, they can see again.
It's a very quick charity.
Apparently I heard that, I think I read in some of the information that 90% of the people in the world at the moment that are blind don't have to be.
Wow.
So
Crazy,
Fred Hollows is doing massive work out there.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing to be involved in.
OK,
so, that's done. Garam masala, which is just a mixture of herbs. This one is cloves, cumin, cinnamon, and what's the other one, the little pods? Cardamom.
OK.
Cardamom.
It must be, in terms of this sort of eating too, you're going to have your spices in there, I would imagine, for your flavour.
This is where it becomes... Otherwise, it's rather dull.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are people in the world that don't have access to this.
Yeah.
We're doing it, and we do.
Yeah.
Which means we can do this for a week because it's not so boring and we're not eating porridge for the week.
What's that you've just put in?
That's the chana dahl.
Ah, that is.
Now, these are split yellow peas.
Yeah.
You can soak them, you don't have to. If you soak them for 4 hours prior to this, it will just speed up the cooking time.
OK.
So then we put in, that's chopped coriander root. So with coriander, you use everything, not just the leaves.
Yeah, OK.
And palm sugar. I like a bit of sugar. It just balances out the spices. And then water.
This is kind of like one extreme to another for you, because I know in the past, I don't even know when it was, but you worked for one of the world's richest men. You chefed for one of the world's richest men. Did you not? And I know you can't say who it is, can you?
No, I can't.
No,
I can't.
That rich.
Well, you have to sign confidentiality agreements, and it's lifelong.
Is that right? right.
Yeah, this one is.
Yeah, okay.
This one
and
is.
so just give me an example of what that was like in terms of the, you know, opulence.
Ridiculous wealth. If he wanted white truffles from Alba, and the season in Alba is from October to November, it's a 6-week season for white truffles, they cost about $5,000 a kilo. And if he wanted those, then we'd ship them in.
Oh,
and
wow.
He had various houses and boats around the world, and it was an interesting glimpse into a world that is beyond belief.
Absolutely.
So then to come here and do this is a far more interesting thing because you're not spoilt for choice with the ridiculous ingredients.
Yeah.
Here you've got to cook and make it interesting.
What part of the world were you in? Can you tell us that?
London, Caribbean, Switzerland.
Depending where the jet or the
Depending where the
was
sun
taking
was.
you. Yeah.
Depending where the sun or the snow was, pretty much.
Wow.
Right,
Okay,
now...
what's
Next. Just move that.
Are you shooting today, Amy?
I am later on.
A little bit
this
later.
afternoon. Yeah.
Is that, so what's the deal with short? It just depends how many scenes you're in as to how long you work of a day?
Yeah, the schedule changes all the time, so you tend to get a draft on a Friday, but
Yep.
things can change.
Yes.
So, yeah, it just sort of depends on,
OK, thank you.
yeah, fitting
Right.
everything in.
So, bread, the roti.
You're making the bread, obviously.
Well, I am. I've got some already made,
Yeah.
of course.
No, yes.
So that's wheatmeal flour, coriander root again, and I just put a bit of the spice, whether it be cumin or the garam masala, bit of salt,
For folks that aren't chefs like you.
oil. Well, what have I done that's chefy?
Well, you just kind of know what goes with what. I've eaten your food. It's amazing.
Yes.
What are you doing, Amy? Are you kind of
Well,
Googling stuff? Or?
Yeah, I am Googling stuff. Sally Martin, who plays Nicole,
Yeah.
she actually did hers last week, and she's a great cook, so she put a whole lot of recipes up online. So
Oh,
I've been
that's
sort
cool.
of stealing little bits from her, and
Yep.
then I'll just, you know, like last night I made a carrot and lentil soup.
Yep.
I've never done that before. I just went on Google and, you know, added spices that I had at home.
You're probably actually eating quite healthily, too.
It's totally vegan.
Yeah.
It is very healthy. There is a lot of pulses. Obviously,
Right.
there's beans,
Yeah.
there's rice, there's lentils, there's chickpeas. So it's incredibly healthy.
Yeah.
But you have to make it interesting, otherwise it's incredibly dull. Now, that's the bread dough.
Yeah. Okay.
That-
Which is this, is it?
Well, it's a different spice, but yes,
Yep.
that you would... OK. That you would normally need for
And-
20 minutes.
Right, and then how do you
That's
get
how
to
it
match
turns
that?
out. You just
Wow.
flatten it.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me just turn that round.
And whack it in a pan.
Flatten it, roll it,
Yeah.
and bake. Oh, you can do it like this if you wish. They do. They flatten it out, and then you put it in a dry pan like that. It's about a minute on each side, and you end up with these lovely little roti breads.
Yum.
These are fried onions, and this costs $1.34 a portion, and the congee costs 54 cents.
Oh, my goodness. We should
a
be doing
portion.
this anyway, live
Yeah.
below the line or not. It's
Amazing.
teaching us a whole lot of good stuff. Thank you,
Well, you
so
can.
much for coming in, Mr. Salt.
It's a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
See you, Amy. Good luck for the rest
Thank
of the week. Yay. You can find links to the Live Below the Line challenge on our website, and Jeff Scott is in the kitchen tomorrow making something fabulous, no doubt. Coming up, Nelson's Alicia Hobbs is here to perform a